Hey, good morning, family. Good morning, God's people. Thank you once again for joining me today. I'm getting to shoot this video from a remote location here in beautiful Sarasota, Florida, next to Siesta Keys. We're going to be utilizing both of those places. It is absolutely amazing. We have this family compound uh, that the kids can all run around and play. I mean, the accommodations here are just breathtaking. I mean, poolside, we got the fire pit, we got pickleball and putt and everything. So we got a beautiful game room. If you see some kids running around screaming, just know we're having a good time, and that's what we're here for. But I wanted to just hop on here and do today's section. This is part 69 of A Radical Fall to Grace. My testimony, and you see, it's a living testimony, man. Every day the Lord is just showing himself faithful. Look at my little niece over there playing. Like, I wanted to talk about, promises. Paul talked about in the the 7th chapter of Romans, how, the things that he wanted to do, things that he would do, those are the things he found himself unable to do. And a lot of times, we talk about that as sin, which is what Paul was talking about, the sin in his flesh that he could not overcome without Jesus Christ. But I also kind of wanted to relate that to the desires that we have. My heart in its pure state, filled with the Spirit, had some desires that were healthy, that were holy, that were righteous, that were keeping with what God would want from me. But within myself, I could not find the power to carry those things out. I remember having these conversations with my daughter when I was incarcerated. I would call her on the phone. Incidentally, that's the time that she would hear from me the most, is when I was in jail, because, I was in my right mind and I could actually make the decision that, hey, I ought to call and talk to my daughter. But I was in for about a year, and I knew I was getting out sometime in March, and I was looking forward to that. And I would think, her birthday is in April, early April, and I kept telling her, I promise, I'm going to make it to your birthday party this year, because I had missed it, for the 4 or 5 years prior to that. And I made these promises, all these promises that I truly intended to fulfill. And when I got out again, I mentioned how I fell off within 3 days. At this time in my life, I'm already saved. I've accepted Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior. I believe that he's the Son of God, but I still struggled with this addiction. And I had not yet surrendered my life to the Lord. And I think that, for me, is what made all the difference. I find that there's a difference between, giving up and surrendering. And, a person who gives up may take that last-ditch effort to maintain some control and maybe take their life and say, I give up, I'm not doing this anymore, right? That's giving up. Someone who surrenders, lays down all the weaponry at their disposal, lays down everything that they had to fight with, and say, listen, I don't know what's going to happen in my life, but I'm no longer in control. You turn your life and your control over to someone else or something else. I turn mine over to Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior. And the wonderful thing about that is that when you turn your life over to a loving, caring Father, a good and gentle Master, then you don't have any fear of what he's going to do with that life. That's the peace. Surrender is so fearful for someone who doesn't know who they're surrendering to. If you surrender to an enemy, they can do with you as they will. But when you surrender to a loving Father, a good and gentle and loving Father who has the best intentions, you can trust that what he's going to do with your life is way better than anything than I could have done. And so I had to go and ask the director of this program if I can go to my daughter's birthday party. And one of the rules was you can't leave within the first 30 days. And by the grace of God, he relented, and he said, you know what, I'm going to make an exception for you. And we made arrangements for my sister to come pick me up and take me to see my daughter. And I was able to keep that promise, not by my might or my power,